Hi guys, okay, today's lesson, hatch, crosshatch, stipple, and blending. So it could be hatching, crosshatching, stippling, and blending. That's other words we can say. First, you build your circle. Now, I'm doing it dark because I want you guys to see it, but usually we draw it very light so we can erase some of the part because you're gonna add light, okay, on one of the areas. Now let's practice. These are diagonal lines. They're lines or strokes from the pencil, one diagonal direction. Cross-hatching is two directions, one on top of the other. Stippling is lots and lots of dots. Sometimes we see it as pointillism as well. It's tedious. Make sure you stretch your wrist. Blending. That you don't use the point of your pencil, you use the edge of the pencil. So it can blend, blending softly. We like blending from dark to light. Very softly. Smooth transition. Okay, now let's make a rectangular box and practice our transition from dark to light with our pencil. And remember, not the point, the side, the edge. This consists of you putting it really hard, pressuring it on the paper, and slowly letting go to make it from dark to light. Now I go back and fix it to where I can see a smooth transition. I don't want to see just black spot, a black box, and then a medium gray, and then a white. That's not a smooth transition. That's just a black, medium, and white box. So you can go back and fix it. Smooth transition. This will take you a couple of tries to get it perfect, or to get it at least right. There's no such thing as perfect. Go back, make sure it's the darkest dark to the medium, lighter, until we get white. Use the side of the pencil. Your wrist is where your power is, so the lighter it gets, the less pressure you put on it. Remember, this takes lots of practice. Don't get discouraged. And there you have it. Hatch, cross-hatching, stippling, blending, transition from dark to light. Now we're going to add the hatching, but we're going to create where the light is. So I'm going to place the word light and an arrow, and that's where I'm going to have my light. Okay, I'm going to use hatching to shade. Remember, it's diagonal lines, and you're using shading from dark to light, just like we did that smooth transition. But we're only working with hatching. These are not easy, boys and girls, so don't get frustrated, okay? Make sure you're doing it correctly. And we practice, and practice makes perfect. And I'm still practicing. Even though your teacher's old, I'm still practicing. You never stop learning, and you never stop getting better. So practice. We're hatching. We're leaving an area of light. This is where I don't want it to be so dark when you draw it, because then when you erase it, you won't be able to erase it a lot, and you get ghost lines. That means you try to erase it, but it's so dark that you can still see the line. Now we're going to shade after this. Make sure it's diagonal. We're going to make a little elongated oval. So light stretches very lightly. And we're going to use the same technique, hatch. The further it gets away from the circle, the lighter it gets. Now we're gonna do cross hatching. I'm gonna fix my circle. I didn't like how it came out. And so we're gonna go diagonal, one diagonal direction. Make sure the darkest area is on the bottom. The lighter area is where we wrote light. And then we're going to cross. We're gonna do the other way. I'm gonna erase that area. That's where the light is. I want to blend it a little bit better. I didn't like how it was not smooth. Now I'm going to add the shade. Elongated oval. Cross hatching. Now stipple. We're going to be stippling. I'm going to erase the area where the light goes. And the darkest area is on the bottom, because opposite of the light, you get the darkest area. It's going to be a lot of dotting. Go around the circle. That's another thing. When you're doing circles, cylinders, triangles, squares, you go around the area. You don't go straight down. You go with the shape of the object, and every area has a shape. I'm gonna shake my wrist a little because it does take a lot of you with the wrist. And your teacher's getting old, so it hurts more. You guys are youngins. Okay, continue to stipple. Go with the shape of the object. In this instance, it's a circle converting itself into a sphere because we gave it shape. Perfect. Now, elongated. Let's continue stippling. The closer it is to the table or whatever it's sitting on, the darker it is. The further it goes out, the lighter it is. Now for blending. Use the side of the pencil, not the point. You need to practice a lot on this. This is the hardest because the way you're holding your pencil. If you need to, these will be practiced several times. Take your time with these. Again, practicing is a must. We're going to use this exercise for next week's lesson. Sorry about that. Next week's lesson, we will be using shading, and you're going to be choosing one of these methods. So all week, I want you to practice these methods: hatch, cross-hatching, stippling, and blending. Students' favorite is the blending. Take your time. It's from dark to light. We replace where the light goes. Now I'm using the edge, and I'm doing really light because I'm heading to the light area. Take your time on these. Practice while I'm doing it. Follow me. Remember, you can stop this recording at any time so you can work at your pace. You don't have to go as fast as I am if you think I'm going too fast. Shading, transition, dark to light. There you go. And there you go, guys. Practice, practice, practice. Don't just do it once. Do it several times. Now, these are called shading techniques. Don't forget this, shading techniques. We use these so we can have an object with a shape, not just a flat object. Some yeses and nos of drawing. Yes to the side of your pencil for a smooth transition. Remember, from dark to light, you don't want a patch of black, a patch of medium gray, and then light. You want it to have a smooth, you don't want it to stop. You got to practice this one a lot. I want to see you guys practicing this a lot. Dark to light. Sorry about the handwriting. Art teacher. Okay, no to point. You can do a smooth transition with using the point. And if you can, you're magical. When you draw, you're going to draw lightly. You don't want to draw dark because you will get ghost lines. The lightest you can. And I'm trying to draw as light as I can, but I want you to see it. No too dark. It is very hard to erase, and it'll give you the ghost lines that I told you. Hi guys, it's pretty dark outside and it's 7:19. And I just want to let you know what I want from this project, okay? So you need to practice, practice, practice. I do need for you to turn in a sheet just like I did with hatch, cross-hatching, stippling, and blending and your dark to light transition, okay? That needs to be turned in, but you have to practice those techniques because we will use them next week for a drawing. So please continue working with the hatch, cross-hatch, what else? Stippling and blending, okay? Use the sphere, you can use other shapes, but we will use those techniques next week when we're doing a drawing, okay? So practice, because practice makes what? Hopefully perfect. You have any questions, let me know, ask me, okay? But practice, 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 practice.